I think we've got this 6-year period. That's all we're left with now, where we can really set up our future before the world changes dramatically. And we don't have the everything code anymore. We don't have most of the things we know anymore. Technical analysis, what does it mean? What does portfolio analysis? What does anything mean? What does reading news mean when you've got AGI doing stuff? But one thing I do know is that the digital rails will be how all of this works. Blockchain is how AI, robots and everything else will move payments around. But, at some point we'll get to maturity phase and the gains that we've made from the adoption phase won't be there anymore. So we need to be involved in the adoption phase of blockchain technologies before it gets to the maturity phase.
Over the past year, Real Vision founder and CEO Raoul has been sharing one crucial piece of advice for investors: how to get ahead of what he calls the fourth industrial revolution, or the exponential age. Pal realized the significance of this new era when he observed two key factors. First, central banks were printing more money than ever imagined, creating an artificial bubble in asset prices. Second, the pandemic accelerated the adoption of at least 10 transformative technologies, including e-commerce, robotics, autonomous driving, video conferencing, and telemedicine. He also noted that when these technologies are measured against the Federal Reserve's balance sheet, they aren't actually in a bubble. It just appears that way because the dollar has lost significant value. Pal's conclusion is that the value of these technologies will continue to grow exponentially over the next decade. This is why he has been urging investors to position themselves ahead of this revolution before the world changes completely by 2030. In a recent video broadcast on his YouTube channel, Raoul, the journeyman, Pal delves deeper into his expectations for the exponential age. He envisions a highly digitized world within the next 6 years and believes we are on the brink of the most significant technological change in history. Technologies like cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, genetics, robotics, and electric vehicles are about to experience exponential growth. Pal vividly explains how these cutting-edge technologies will shape our future, urging investors to take action now to capitalize on the upcoming changes. Stay tuned as we bring you clips from Pal's video, highlighting his insights on how to navigate and benefit from this rapidly approaching technological revolution.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
We'll know about the technological changes. That's all fine. I've talked about that ad nauseum, the exponential age. You know it, right? Robots, AI, genetic sciences, space travel, all of this stuff, Internet of Things, everything's 3D printing, you name it, it's all happening at once, the fastest pace of change of technology in all recorded history. But when you start to apply economics to it, that's when it gets interesting. People talk about the singularity, when AI is smarter than all humans and this kind of stuff, so you can't even see into the future. People talk very quickly, and I think it's now actually pretty mid-curve of the analysis of jobs, they're going to go, what are people going to do? Universal basic income, blah, 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 blah. So many thousands of pages in every crappy newspaper. Not that I read newspapers anymore. Same old analysis. And I went back to the magic formula of GDP growth. In fact, I'm going to share the little thing because I want you to fully understand it. So this is the magic formula, and it's incredibly important. It's how is GDP growth or trend growth created? Well, it's created by population growth, productivity growth, and debt growth. Those are the three component parts. What we've had is GDP declining over time, driven by an aging population. There's the aging population. It's been driving growth lower. Productivity, that's been falling too. And debt growth has been rising. So I won't go through the whole thing because I shared all of this in great detail on Real Vision Pro Macro today. So that's just a small part of what I'm talking about. But now you understand the magic formula. Let's just play around with that a little bit. So we're all seeing OpenAI's announcements yesterday and Google's today, but OpenAI, I think they are building AI using something very close to AGI, and they're building incrementally towards where they are with their technology. Sam Altman keeps saying we're very cautious what we release. They know what they've got. They're working backwards, which is why every 3 months they totally blow up every competitor and everything. It's it's the fastest, most disruptive company in history in front of our eyes. It's la la land. Anyway, let's go back to the economics. The population side of the equation has been the great restriction or growth period of humanity. As global population grows, global GDP grows. If it shrinks, as I showed you in the charts, population growth starts to shrink because there's not enough people. You need productivity to get more out of those people. But old people are less productive. So when you've got an aging population, not easy. You can have a small population, that's fine. Doesn't have to be growing much as long as they're more productive. So India will have a big population, but it's getting more productive. So they benefit from both, which is why it's the fastest growing major economy in the world. When you add in this new world is where the things that were scarce, knowledge, become infinite and free. Lawyers, accountants, all of that kind of stuff. Just all knowledge, finance people, everything. That becomes free. And the robots, well, that's physical labor for free. Sure, they won't be fixing your plumbing first. They'll be doing factory lines and they'll be doing fast food and stuff like that. But what you've basically created is infinite productive units, infinite humans.
The rise of artificial intelligence has been highly controversial. While people like Raoul are ready to embrace and welcome the inevitable transition, others perceive it as a significant threat to the continued existence of the human race. These fears are not alleviated by comments from influential figures like Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk. Speaking at the Milken Institute Global Conference earlier this month, Musk predicted that artificial intelligence will soon surpass human intelligence, becoming so ubiquitous that biological intelligence will constitute less than 1% of all intelligence. AI might be the most important question of all, Musk began. The percentage of intelligence that is biological grows smaller with each passing month. Eventually, the percentage of biological intelligence will be less than 1%. Biological intelligence can serve as a backstop, a buffer of intelligence, but in percentage terms, almost all intelligence will be digital. This is not the first time Musk has discussed the disruptive potential of artificial intelligence. In a tweet earlier this year responding to American computer scientist and futurist Ray Kurzweil's prediction of AI singularity by 2029, Musk wrote, "AI will probably be smarter than any single human next year. By 2029, AI is probably smarter than all humans combined." This is precisely why Powell warns that the world will be totally unrecognizable by 2030. As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll bring you more clips from Powell's video, highlighting his insights on how AI and other cutting-edge technologies will shape our future.
A robot plus a AI replaces humans. Again, I'm not worried about the human replacement thing and what are we all going to do? Oh my God, we'll figure that out. We're a highly adaptive species. What I'm more interested in, what does an economy look like? And I've written about this in The Exponentialist. I'll talk a bit about The Exponentialist later because it is really special. But I've written about this, and David Matten talks about this a lot, is okay. And there's a group at Oxford that have been looking at this as well. Okay, so under the magic formula, we're going to see more robots and more AI. And we've seen this in Amazon, where the robots are increasing while the human workforce is not. And over time, you'll have a massive difference between the humans and the robots. This is immigration growth, essentially, population growth. And sometime after about 2030, it's going to be ubiquitous. It's going to be scaling everywhere. AI agents, we're speaking to AI agents. There's no humans in any of this. But what it does is it creates ludicrous GDP growth. If the robot population of the world, let's say, gets to 8 billion robots, AIs, and it goes to 10 billion, 20 billion, you're doubling, tripling the population of the world. And this will happen fast. If crypto is going to get to 4 billion users by 2030 or so, well, AI is scaling faster than that. Crypto is the fastest adoption of any technology the world has ever seen. This is going to be everywhere. So what you're going to do is break the laws of economics sometime after 2030. Well, we don't even understand anymore what's going on because the scarcity models of how we think about economies disappear. Then we think of the productivity part. So productivity is really how much output you get per kilojoule of energy. Now, the Europeans are really driving this by their massive monetary stimulus into green energy. They will bring down the cost of electricity over time through innovation, and they'll drop it by half, and nuclear will drop it by half again. And that will give us a 3x multiplier on productivity, which has the multiplier effect on growth, which is being driven by the growth of the population of AI and robots. Okay, we're now in la la land. Economies don't mean anything. Scarcity doesn't mean anything. In a world of scarcity, what is money? Yes, there's some commodities, but the AI is allocating resources. The AGI helps you figure out logistics, supply chains, all of this in a way that we can't do as humans. So what the fuck is money? It kind of changes. What do we need spending for if everything comes hyper-deflationary? How does any of this work? What happens when the AGI gets turned on the stock market? And it's not just Jim Simmons from Renaissance who can take everything. It's somebody else with an AGI who figures it out. And before you know it, it's won the markets. What are markets? What are companies? What are companies when Sam Altman is destroying every startup every 3 months because they're using AI to build AI? So the product iteration cycle is so fast. The capital velocity and destruction cycle is unprecedented. It actually looks more like meme stocks. You start a business, it gets traction, gets attention, gets capital, gets disrupted. Some 1, 2, 3 may survive, but most won't. So the capital cycle becomes immensely short and very violent. And we're seeing that in meme coins. We're seeing it in ICOs back in 2017. That's where the world is going. The capital markets are not ready for this. VC is not ready for this. Private equity is not ready for this. The buy and hold of let's nurture this company ain't going to fucking work. Yeah, they're going to have to tokenize this shit. And it is going to be complex.
Raoul Pal's Don't Mess This Up thesis posits that the world will change completely by 2030, giving us only 6 years to capitalize on the greatest financial opportunity humanity has ever seen, the cryptocurrency industry. He predicts that the overall crypto market cap will grow from less than $3 trillion today to between $10 and $15 trillion by 2025, and around $50 to $100 trillion by 2030. After that, the entire landscape could be disrupted, and there's no telling what the crypto market, overall financial markets, or even the global economy will look like. It's hard to argue with many of Pal's points in this video. The world is changing rapidly, and we are hurtling toward the exponential age, where technology will dominate every sector. Investors who position themselves correctly now will be crucial players in that future. What are your thoughts on Pal's exponential age thesis? Please share your comments and observations in the section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.